dance. Fanatiga down a market. Watch a dread fanatiga down a market. Watch a dread a vegetable man a target. Why you me now a vegetable man a target? Yeah, see all the dead love, give me some dead love, stay. Gonna make sure you act like a leader along the way.
My guest today is a Toronto-born reggae artist with Jamaican roots. He's a singer, songwriter who's been in the business for nearly 30 years. He sings conscious music. He was awarded the Positive Message in Reggae Music Award in 2022 and the Excellence in Reggae Music Consciousness Award in 2023. It's my pleasure to welcome Nkrumah to ReggaeBitz&Pcs. Greetings, Nkrumah.
Greetings, Miss D Lit. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm well, man. I'm well. I can't wait for us to chat.
Yes. I'm very excited myself.
All right. What was the role of music, right, in the early years of your life?
Well, as a child, the role of music was really just listening and learning. I had family members who had sound system. Every Christmas we would go by my Uncle Arthur's house, and everybody would be upstairs and Uncle Arthur would be in the basement just playing his records while Auntie and everybody's cooking and preparing dinner. But I would be downstairs with Uncle Arthur just listening to the records that he's playing as a young child. I also had a sound system in my house. My mother's ex-boyfriend had a sound system, so he used to let me play records like Dennis Brown and Barrington Levy and Bob Marley, and those were kind of my learning experiences into reggae music. So that's basically how it started for me, just having sound system in my family and listening to music playing while we had family gatherings and so forth.
All right, that's nice. Tell me about you writing your first verse at age 14, sitting in a classroom in Toronto. Tell me about that experience.
Well, it's funny because I don't recommend this to any of the children out there, but when I was in school, I was really more focused on music for some reason. I wasn't really focused on the educational part of it, And I remember sitting in class one day and the teacher is talking, and I'm in my own world, just thinking about music. And I decided, let me try a thing. So I didn't know what I was doing. I just wrote two sentences or a couple sentences that rhymed. I don't know if they made sense,
Oh, wow.
but they were rhyming. As a youth, I thought that's what music was about, because that's what I heard listening to music. I heard the artists them rhyming,
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote a couple lyrics that rhymed, and I asked the teacher if I could use the washroom. And the teacher said, sure. So I went out into the hallway and I saw these two Jamaican girls. They had back in the day, they had the hairstyle and the jewelry and everything, So I figured to myself, yes, I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna DJ for these two girls and see what happens. I don't know why, but I just did. I just walked up to them. They were casually having their own conversation. I just walked up and jumped in the conversation and start DJing. And then looked at me like, what is you to do? But when I was done, they were like, but you're talented, do you? Go on, man. Then time I'm in grade 9, I'm a little boy,
Mm-hmm.
Them say, you go on, you can go on. And that inspired me to just start writing,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah.
Interesting experience. I know also, Nkrumah, that you had an experience with Ricky Turbo, right? I know you auditioned for him to do dub plates and stuff. Tell us about that as well.
Yes. Again, as a young man entering the business, I thought the only way I would be able to be noticed by a sound system or by a promoter is I would have to audition. So you have a big sound in Canada named King Turbo, one of the biggest sound in the whole of Canada. And I had a friend named Cess Dan. And I went to a barbecue out here in Scarborough, a place called Scarborough in Toronto here. And Cess Dan was there, and Cess Dan says to me, because my real name is Kwame, right? So he says, Kwame, I'm playing for King Turbo now. So I got so excited. I said, oh, you have to make me meet them. I want to meet them, please. And he said, all right, no problem. So he called me a couple months later and said, Ricky Turbo was at my house. If you want to come through, come through. So right away, I found myself there. At the time, I was living way in the west end of the city. and I jumped in the car and I drove to the east, and I must have got there in about 2 minutes. So I was excited. And yeah, so when I reached now, Ricky Turbo was there, and I says to him, I would like to be a DJ, I want to be an entertainer. He said, okay, what kind of music you do? I said, reggae. He said, all right. So he put on some instrumental. Them time it was vinyl, it wasn't CD or MP3, it was vinyl. So he put on some records, and I was there singing on the rhythms, but at the time I wasn't ready. To be honest, I wasn't ready. I couldn't handle the rhythms he was playing. So he says to me when he's done, he says to me, and he was nice about it. Ricky Turbo says, you're talented, but I think I brought the wrong rhythms for you, but go home and practice. And next time you see me, we'll do it again.
Nice.
So I said, all right, cool. So I went home, and that's exactly what I did. I practiced and I practiced and I practiced. And about 2 months later, Cessna called me again and said, Ricky Turbo's at my house again, come through. So again, I drove down there as fast as I could. And this time I was ready. I felt ready, And he played some rhythms, and I mashed up the rhythm. Then Ricky said, you're ready now. Yeah.
So practice makes you better.
Practice definitely makes you better. Definitely.
Yeah.
And that led to many different things,
Yeah, like for example, your first recording, right, was done with Ron Nelson's at Ron Nelson's studio, right? And he was the first DJ to play you on radio.
Yes, I believe he was the first DJ. Well, it was between him and King Turbo, because at the time King Turbo played on a radio station out here also, right? So it was between him and Ron Nelson to see who played me first, but those two entities are the first to play me ever on radio. I had gotten a phone call once. One really bad winter storm was happening over here in Toronto, and I got a phone call saying, we want you to come to the studio. And at the time I wasn't driving, so I had to call a friend, and my friend did not want to drive me. He said, no, it's too bad out there, it's terrible. And I begged him. I said, please, Bridget, I don't know if I'm gonna get this opportunity again,
Yeah.
So he ended up driving me down to Ron Nelson's studio. This was my first time in Ron Nelson's studio, my first time meeting Ron Nelson in person, So I entered the studio, and there, lo and behold, that was Ricky Turbo and Slingshot. This was my first time meeting Slingshot, the selector of King Turbo.
Nice.
So we had a quick reasoning, and they said, we want a dub plate. Now, mind you, I heard about dub plate, but I wasn't so good at doing it, So they gave me a dancehall rhythm. They gave me the sketel rhythm. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So they gave me the sketel rhythm, and I gave them a song called Kushung Peng, a ganja song.
Yeah, I know it.
I can't quite remember, but I don't think I called their name in the song, to tell you the truth, because again, I was just learning,
Yeah.
But they ended up playing that song. Ron Nelson ended up playing that song on the radio, and King Turbo also played that song. And that was my first, I would say, major recording, although it wasn't my rhythm, and it didn't come out for sale anywhere. It was only played by whoever had it,
Yeah.
It was still big for me, because that was my first recording and my first radio play,
Yeah, and obviously they were impressed enough to play it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. All right. How did you learn to sing and write lyrics?
Interesting question. I started, my first love in music was hip hop, When I was in elementary school, my mother bought me a Run DMC and a Public Enemy cassette. So I used to listen to that every day, and that was my first love, and I wanted to be a hip hop dancer. So for many years I was studying the hip hop thing, and then I just started to listen to reggae more, and I discovered Shabba Ranks and Ninja Man, and I kind of followed them in a way, like followed how they delivered their lyrics. But to tell you the truth, nobody taught me how to write a song or how to sing.
Wow.
I just copied what I heard and put my own twist to it,
Yeah.
I've never been
you have
one.
a nice voice too. I don't mean to cut you, but you have a nice voice.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really one to hear somebody's something and totally take the whole thing and copy it, you know. I would
Yeah.
listen to you and kind of learn from you and maybe use your style but my own lyrics, or use your vibes but my own lyrics, so that was my way. I also got inspired by an artist named Anthony B. Anthony
Yeah.
B was a great inspiration for me. When I heard Anthony B's vibes and I saw the way he performed on stage, I wanted to be like Anthony B.
Yeah, he's a
So
good
I kind
musician.
of, yeah. So I kind of took a couple pages out of Anthony B's book and other artists, and kind of followed their style and learned how to do it. But yeah, nobody really taught me how to write a song or how to sing. I basically just copied what I heard until I got the knack of it.
Yes, and it's just raw talent, actually.
Yes, yes, yes.
Raw talent. What's the story behind your stage name?
Okay. Well, when I was young, my friends used to call me Daddy K, right?
Hmm.
And I went to Jamaica. I went to Jamaica when I was about, cause I've been going to Jamaica from when I'm a little boy, but I went to Jamaica when I was about 14 years old one time. And I went to visit my father. And I said to him, I said, Daddy, I want to be an artist. And Daddy said, okay, why you want to be an artist? And I said, well, I just love the music and I love the vibe. And I want to be a singer. I want to be a DJ. She said, okay, what's your name? And I said, they call me Daddy K in Canada. Daddy said, no, that not gonna work. Daddy said, that not gonna work. He said, you must call yourself Nkrumah. So at the time, I didn't know who Nkrumah was, Kwame Nkrumah
Hmm.
was. So
Yeah.
I said, Nkrumah, why Nkrumah? And he said, because I named you after Kwame Nkrumah. You have the birth name. You have Kwame as your birth name. Use Nkrumah as the stage name. So I said, okay. And that's how I got Kwame Nkrumah. That's how I got Nkrumah, because my birth name is Kwame. I was named after Kwame Nkrumah. So my father told me to use Nkrumah as my stage name.
Great African leader, man.
Great African leader. And at the time that when my father was young, that was one of my father's favorite African leaders.
Yeah,
You
Kwame
know?
Nkrumah.
Yes, yes.
Um, Nkrumah, how would you describe your music?
Reality. Reality, plain and simple. Reality. Nothing more, nothing less. Because I believe anything I sing, you can actually visualize it in your brain. You know?
Okay.
If I say something in my lyrics, you can actually close your eyes and picture it happening. It's real. It's not something that's never happened before, or we will never happen. Anything I sing about is real life, in
Oh.
in all aspects.
Do you think you'd ever sing a song that is just made up and not real?
I don't think so. I don't think I have that kind of style in me, because I write my own lyrics and I write up about my feelings, or what
Hmm.
I see, or what I do, or what I hear, or what I've been through, or what my friends have been through, or my family has been through. It's just reality.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
How would you describe the creative process?
Interesting. Usually I write my songs about 3 o'clock in the morning, 3, four
What?
o'clock in the morning.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Usually
Early
I'm up
morning
at those
inspiration.
times.
Early
Yes,
morning
man.
inspiration, right?
Yes, yes. Usually I'm up and I put it on YouTube and I will listen to Desiree or listen to Akibeka, you know.
Hmm.
And once I listen to those dub vibes, or I listen to Channel One sound system or any of them, the vibe there, and the lyrics just hit me. I listen to the dub because I'm a big dub fan. I love my roots reggae. So when I hear a good rhythm, it's like lyrics just hit me, and I just start thinking. It comes down to a point where I don't even write anymore. I think about it in my head, and
Wow.
I memorize everything in my head,
You
and then
really?
I might, yeah, and then I recorded it in my phone. Once I memorized the song in my head, I recorded it in my phone
Wow.
just in case I forget it.
Yeah,
And
wow.
that's usually my process. Yeah, I don't
That's
write anymore.
that's pretty neat.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any one main inspiration, or you have inspirations?
Inspirations, because as I said, as a youth, it was Anthony B. When I started to enter Rastafari, it was Bob Marley. Then it went from Bob Marley to Dennis Brown, then Barrington Levy, Sanchez. Super Cat who is my favorite artist in the whole wide world.
Wow, super
Um,
cats.
Yes, I used to listen to a lot of Stereomars and Sugar Minor, Youth Man Promotion, and
Mm-hmm.
them type of things. So I used to watch a lot of stage show back in the day. So a lot of the artists inspired, as I said, Shabba and Ninja. When I first heard about Shabba and Ninja, they inspired me because they had their little clash going on, and that was my first time ever experiencing a clash in music.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and also to tell you the truth, I was also inspired by Canadian artists. A lot of people might not know that, but where I grew up in Toronto is I lived in many places, but there was a specific neighborhood, is a little ghetto named Wayside,
Mm-hmm.
where I grew up, and I had a brethren named Sleepy and Jazz, rest in peace to Jabba Jazz and Gotti. Their father had a sound system named Charlo International. As this is when I was in like grade 7, grade 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to go there and we used to just fool around on the sound, play records and DJ back and forth to each other, foolishness. But um artists from the neighborhood used to pass through and sing, like Maca Mouse, like Johnny Mice. These artists would pass through and I would be so amazed at their talent. To me, they were superstars, they were like Shabba. They were like
Mm-hmm.
Super Cat to me.
To you.
So
Mm-hmm.
I looked up to them, and I kind of learned from them also. So it's not just Jamaica alone that inspired me. Canada had a piece too.
Too. That's nice. That's nice. How would you describe your fans?
um I don't know how to describe my fans. um I'll say they support me. They definitely support me, and they appreciate of my, as you said, they appreciate of my voice. I get a lot of compliments about my voice
Mm-hmm.
and my style. A lot of people say that my style is different and my voice is different. I don't sound like anybody, and my lyrics always catch the people. So I think my fans are intrigued by those things, that I'm different. I don't sound like anybody specifically.
Yeah. Do you create for yourself or for your fans?
For my fans, I don't sing for myself at all. I sing for the people. That's why I care so much about how the people feel about my music. My Empress would tell you sometimes I'm here and I don't know, if I don't hear something good about my music, I start to get distraught and wonder if people are even listening to me, because I really care about how the people feel about my music. It's very important to me.
But that's a good thing, though, Nkrumah. That's a good thing that you actually care,
Yes,
you know, about feedback.
yes,
Um,
yes,
well, I guess I could answer the question, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Did your style evolve since the beginning of your career?
yes,
How
yes.
so?
It's just the way I sounded. It was just my thing. Even as in high school, I used to go by a brethren. I had a white brethren by the name of they call him Pablo now, and he had a sound system in his house, and he had all the Jamaican videos that I wanted to see, and we used to practice on his sound system, and even those times he used to make cassettes,
Mm-hmm.
and with me and our next brethren named Blessed. He used to make cassettes of me and Blessed practicing on his sound, and he would give them out to everybody in the neighborhood and so forth. And I didn't know that was happening. And it
Really?
wasn't it wasn't until years later people came up to me and said, "I've been listening to you from, you know,
Way
so
back.
and so and so and so, and you're bad from them time there and Ray Tay Tay." But I didn't know. I was
Mm-hmm.
just doing my thing. I didn't even know I was going to be an artist. I was just having fun. So yeah, it's been from those time I've had my style, and people have recognized it. Hmm.
Yeah. That must have been nice when people actually came up to you. I mean, not knowing that that was happening, with the cassette and stuff being distributed, to come up and say, "Boy,
Yes,
I've known you from so on and so on, and been listening to you since then."
it's been amazing. I'll tell you the truth. Funny thing is, for years back in the day, a couple of years, well, people would come out of prison and tell me they were listening to me in prison.
What?
Yes, they would say the whole of we listen to you in that room, and them love you in there. You are mash up the place, you. Every Friday we listen to you. 'Cause Ron Nelson used to play on Friday evening, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
they would all tune into the radio on Friday evening in there. and they would hear me. And I also did a lot of interviews on different radio stations, so they were
Oh.
listening to me. I don't know how, but they were listening to me in there, and they would come out and they would tell me, they would say, yeah, mash up in there, rude boy, and this and that. Yeah.
um, what do you enjoy most about being a musician?
Performing for the people. I love it. I love
Yeah.
performing. I love to see the people, their reaction in the crowd. I love to see their face. I love when they forward. I love when I sing a song and when I've done the song, they all clap. I love when the show is done, everybody come up to me and say, amazing job, great job. And I feel accomplished, when the people are happy, I'm happy,
Yeah, I hear
So yeah, yeah.
Nkrumah, do you experience stress before going on stage?
Definitely. Definitely. I have terrible stage fright. Terrible stage fright. I remember one time I had a show in England, in the UK, and I was sitting in the blue room or the green room, whatever they call it, with all the artists there, and we're all reasoning, and I felt great. And then they came, knocked the door, and they said, Nkrumah, you're next. And I said, okay, good. So I got up and I walked out the green room, and I'm standing on the stage and they're introducing me, and my heart started to beat. Oh my goodness. I couldn't even breathe. I was
Wow.
like, what is happening here? And I'd never experienced it before, so I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I remember he's giving me the microphone and literally I can't breathe,
Yeah.
So that was a rough show for me.
So what did you
That was
do? You took a deep breath and then just went out?
I had no choice. That's what I had to do. I took a deep breath and step out, and did my thing, but I didn't perform to my best ability because I was so nervous,
Nervous.
So if over the years it's gotten less, it's not as bad. Now I'm a lot more comfortable, but I still get a bit of stage fright. Yes, I think it's normal,
Yeah.
because you just never know what the crowd reaction is going to be. You don't want to get booed. You don't want them to fling stuff at you, You
Yeah.
don't want to fall off the stage. You don't want to forget your lyrics. You don't want to be off key. There's so much things you're thinking about. You want to remember your lyrics. You want to engage with the crowd. There's so much things to think about that it can be stressful,
Yeah. And I think it's generally thought that in as much as people go out there and perform, etc., stage fright is one heck of a thing. I mean, you get the stage fright when you initially go on, and then after a while, you kind of settle down.
Yes, yes, yes. As the show goes on, you get more comfortable as
Comfortable.
you get into it, Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. But you try not to show it.
No, you try your best, You try your best.
Yeah. All right. What's the biggest problem, right, you have encountered in the journey of music?
The biggest problem. It's
So
more
far.
than one, It's more than one. One of them would be people finding out who my father is. So if you don't know, my father's name is Neville Bell, He's the host of TV of Smile Jamaica on TVJ in Jamaica. And
Which I know.
he's also the former coach of St. George's College in football. Right. So a lot of people now didn't know who my father was. For years, I didn't tell anybody, Once people found out who my father was, it kind of, instead of helping me, it kind of gave me a harder time, because now people are saying, oh, I'm father, I show him father. He wouldn't die, I show him father, if I not him father. Or some people are saying, oh, he might use him last name, he might use him name to get shows and tours and all these things, which wasn't true.
Yeah.
It just simply wasn't true. And some people now, they'd be like, oh, make your father boss you, make your father do this for you, make your father do that for you. But the biggest thing, I run things I had and this and that. And it's hard for me to explain to them that that's not how this works.
Right.
I'm my own man, and my father grew up pretty much like me, but different. He had a lot of brothers, right? And my father was the type of man that he didn't like to live in his brother's shadows, because all of my uncles are top footballers in Jamaica. Jackie Bell, Russell Bell, yeah, all of my uncles played national ball, so they're well known. My family's well known for football in Jamaica, soccer, right?
Right.
So in my father's days, he wanted to be a great baller, but everybody was talking about his older brothers, and he didn't like that. So he decided to earn it himself, to the point where he put on glasses and he didn't need glasses. He just wanted to be different. you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I find that I'm just like my father. I don't rely on my father's links to bust me.
Right.
If I was relying on my father, I would have been a big star a long time ago, you know.
Yeah. 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 I understand
But
that.
yeah, so it hinders me in that way also, that people think that I'm not earning my own spot, or people think that I must use my father to get certain places. They don't want to acknowledge the fact that I worked hard. I started from nothing. I
Yeah.
built my name to where I am now, and they don't want to give me the credit. They want to give my father the credit, you know?
Yeah. When you actually did the work and continue to do the work.
Exactly, exactly. You know, so I find that's one of the problems, you know?
Yeah. If you could change one thing, in Nkrumah, in the music industry, what would it be?
Wow. Um, More opportunities for the artists that are not top 10 artists.
Wow.
More opportunities for the artists that are not top 10 artists. And I say that because um you find a lot of shows, um they book the same artists, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They have I guess they have their artists who they figure are on top or can pull a crowd, or whatever it may be. But there's so many artists out here, such as myself, who have talent, who have a crowd, who have the catalog, you know,
True.
and all we want is a chance. That's all
Mm-hmm.
we want. We just want a chance, you know. And sometimes it's hard because we're not top 10 artists. We're not name brand artists, you know.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't drop. They don't look past a certain level. They look from a certain level
Yeah.
upwards. They don't look down to discover the ones that are coming up, you know. And I think that would help a lot of artists, because I've heard a lot of talent from artists that don't necessarily get all the opportunities as everybody else, but they're very talented. And I'm sure if the people were to hear them, their career is gone right away.
Yeah.
It's just to get the listening ears, the radio play, the stage shows, the interviews, stuff, even stuff like this, what you're doing for me. I really appreciate of it, because not everybody would give me this opportunity if I'm not Garnet Silk, or
Yeah. I agree with you, Nkrumah. And this is one of the main reasons, if not the main reason, for having my channel actually, to give a voice to emerging artists.
yes, yes. And we
Because
really
they're
appreciate of
talented
that.
musician. Yeah, talented. You're talented. I mean, I've interviewed a lot of talented musicians.
Yes,
Talented, so
yes.
I think based on what you're saying, there's a lot of gatekeeping.
Well, I wouldn't call it gatekeeping. That's another thing I don't agree with. I wouldn't call it gatekeeping. Um it's just giving us the opportunity, because I don't feel like they know, say it's us, and they're stopping us. Like they're gonna say, well, we're not put Nkrumah up on the show because me not like Nkrumah. I don't think it's like that. I
Hmm.
just think that they're not broadening their horizon to listen, to look out for new music, you
Yeah,
know?
true.
Like as a selector, I feel as a selector, you should be trying to find music that we've never heard. You don't just play the music everybody knows, you
True.
know?
True.
You
I
got to
agree with
play
you.
music. You have to introduce us to artists, introduce us to new music. So I don't think it's a gatekeeping. I think they're just not taking the opportunity to go beyond a certain part of the spectrum, and decide, let me listen. Like if you're in America, like you would say, let me try to find out what's happening in Canada. You know,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
if you're in Africa, if you're in Jamaica, you say, let me see what's happening in Canada, or let me see what's happening in Africa, or let me see what's happening in America, not just Jamaica. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean. It's true. And like I said before, I mean, I've heard some really, really talented musicians, man. I mean, and you're like, wow, you don't hear
Yes.
about them,
You don't hear about them. You don't
and
hear
it's
about
like you
them.
said, it's just the opportunity.
And it's just, and I'll tell you one thing, a lot of these artists that we don't hear about, it's not like they're not going with anything, because
I
if you
know.
check them out, they've been on tour,
Yeah.
they've
Yeah.
received awards, right? They've done some big shows. It's just that they're not out there on the big scale,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they're still working and accomplishing a lot of things. For example, for myself, I've toured Europe, I've been to the UK, I've been to Jamaica, I've been to America. you know. But and I've received awards, but still I'm not going to say I'm as big as you know, Chuck Fender or, you know, I Octane, or you know what I mean. I'm not
Yeah,
on their level, but I'm still working and I'm
yeah.
still
In other words,
accomplishing things.
you're not a household name, but you're working.
Exactly, exactly. You know,
You know, I get it. I get it.
yeah.
I get it. Um, is there any music style which you don't like?
No, I like it all. I
You
might
like it?
not like all the lyrics, you know. I might not agree with every lyrical song, but I find even the songs that I don't agree with lyrically, I still find them to be catchy, you know.
Oh,
I still find that, you know, if it wasn't for certain things they're saying, though, I still find the sound very nice, you
very
know.
nice.
Yeah, I'm a music man, you know,
Yeah.
and I've been young, so I know what it's like to sing foolishness, you know, because I remember as a youth, my father took me to Arrow Studio in Jamaica, and I brought back a demo cassette, and when I played it for him, he was very upset. You know, Daddy said, "Hey, if I this I go sing no more music for you," because
That
I
is your
bear gun,
foolishness.
yeah, foolishness. I bear gun my lyrics and slackness me and taught them time there as a little boy, and Daddy said that not go work. You know, so I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be young and want to express yourself. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
and even though we might not all agree with it, at the same time, it's your expression. You know, music is really what people are feeling or what they're going through in life. So when you hear the youth them talking these things, it's real to them. You know, it's
mm-hmm.
what's happening with them. We as the elders are like, this is foolishness, but to them it's reality. You know.
Yeah,
So I listen to everybody. I don't really shun any music. I at least listen to it. You know, and I appreciate of it, you know,
yeah,
because again, I will appreciate the same respect for myself, you know.
yeah,
People might look at me and not want to hear my music, you know. So
yeah. And then after a while, these artists might just grow out of it and just decide to go another, another route.
exactly, we all grow, you know. Some of them are young. Let them be young and have fun. We just pray that they stay alive and they don't hurt themselves, you know.
Yeah, true, true.
Yeah, let them be young.
All right. If you were a song in Nkrumah, right? What would you be
Mhm.
and why?
If I was a song,
Yeah.
wow, wow. If I was a song, I think what song? What would I be if I was a song? I would be a root song, you know. I would be a real root song, and my song would have lots of bass in it, you know.
Yeah.
My song would have the people them not necessarily jumping up and down, but doing a little two step, or you know, a man and a woman whining together, or you know, somebody just standing there just sputting a big spliff, just listening to the vibes, you know. My song would be calm and relaxed, but powerful, like
Yeah.
Bob Marley.
Yeah. You see how creative I'm looking at you and I'm saying to myself, you see how you're smiling and it's like, oh my gosh, you got so creative
Thank
by
you.
that simple question.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
You know. All right. I want to talk about your album, Lion, right? What was the concept behind that album? And how was the album received?
The concept behind that album, um, it's hard to say, you know, because what happened was I have a friend in Germany, um, and me and him had been reasoning for quite a while. I'd met him through the business. I did some dub plates for him and so forth, and he bought some of my vinyl records because I sell vinyl records also. So I had a virgin from Germany, and one day he called me and he said, you know, um, I have this producer friend who sent me like 10 rhythms, and he said I could do whatever I want with them, and you're the first person I thought of. So I said, okay, send me the rhythms. So he sent me the rhythms, and when I heard them, I realized it's a producer I've worked with already.
Hmm.
So I linked him back and I said, is it so and so from so and so? He said, yes. I said, okay, tell him it's me. And he got back to me. He said, yes, he remembers you. So right there, we had a link, and I said to him, with all these rhythms, we should work on an album, you know?
Hmm.
And he said, you're right, we should. So we ended up getting the rhythms together. He ended up backing out of the deal, and it became me alone. But that's basically how it started. I got the 10 rhythms, and I wrote songs to all the rhythms. I didn't use all of them. I wrote songs to them, and then I recorded them. I got some of them mixed and mastered in Switzerland. Um, and I had some other songs that I had recorded previously from the UK and from other producers. So I decided, I'm gonna put all these songs together on one album. I called it Lion because I consider myself to be a lion, you know. Um, and I feel like the album it expresses me and my feelings and how I feel,
Yeah.
So that was the Lion album, and it was received okay. I think it could have been received better, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, just being honest, I
Yeah.
think it could have got more promotion and more plays, but I still got good feedback from it. I got one and two hit singles off of it. So,
Yeah.
but I feel like it could have done better.
All right. Well, at least you put it out there, and it's nice. I like "Love You Like Me," where you say nobody no love you like you, nobody no love you like
Yes,
me.
yes.
Yeah, that's
Thank
nice.
you.
And
Thank
then
you.
you also had "Pure and Clean." Your heart has, and pretty much you're saying your heart has to be pure and clean to rally around the Heights Gold and Green, right?
Definitely. Definitely.
And where you say
Definitely.
the righteous are come, where you say the people are learn, the righteous are
Yeah.
come,
Yes.
have a touchdown.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And also I love the island of Jamaica, you should
Yes.
respect your Jamaican heritage
Definitely.
and the
Definitely.
birthplace of your parents. That was nice.
Yes. Definitely. Definitely.
That was nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, man. All right. And Love and Appreciation, single produced by L.A. Allen of Mountain Edge Production. I love this song. How did you come up with the lyrics, right? And how has it been working with L.A.?
Well, working with LA number one is amazing. LA is such a nice person.
Yeah, he
I
is.
mean,
He is.
such a pleasant person,
Yeah,
always in a good mood. I personally never hear LA get upset yet.
yeah.
All the years I know him. Um, Very easy to work with. And what happened was he had sent me the rhythm. I'll tell you the truth. He sent me the rhythm, I would say maybe last week, 2 weeks ago, he sent me the rhythm. And I listened to it. And at first, I wasn't feeling it. I won't lie to you. At
Mm-hmm.
first, I called him back. I said, man, LA, it's too slow, man. And LA said, but you have a lot of songs on slow rhythm. I said, that's the problem. All of my songs are slow. I need to step up the pace now.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, okay. He said, you want me to speed it up? I said, yeah, try that. And as I hang up the phone, I said, let me put on my headset because I was listening to my sound system in my
Mm-hmm.
house. I said, let me put on my headset and listen to it. When I put on the headset and I hear the bass in my ears,
Yeah,
I
man.
said, no. I said, no, this rhythm's sweet.
Yes. Yeah.
I text him right away. I said, don't change it. Don't touch it.
Yeah. It sounds nice, man.
And
When I first heard it, I said to myself, wait a minute.
yes. Excellent rhythm.
Yeah, man. And your voice complements it too.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
your
you very
voice
much.
complements it too. I said, this is a
So
nice
I,
song.
yeah, so after I put in the headset now, the lyrics just hit me. We need more contribution and communication. That's what hit me first. And then I was listening to it, and again, I was doing my thing in my head, billing it. I went in the shower, I was singing it in the shower, came out the shower, got back to it. I wrote that song in about a couple hours, maybe like an hour or two, because I went in the shower, thought about it, came back out, and so forth. But once I had thought about the song, I sang it for my empress. I practiced it in front of my empress, and she said, "Yeah, it sounds good." So I said, "Okay." So LA didn't hear the lyrics at this time. I just told him,
Oh,
I called him, I
yeah.
said, I have a song, and I said to him, you want me to record it at your studio or just go record it? He said, "Me trust you, crew, man. Me trust you. Just go record it." So I said, all right, cool. So I went to the studio, must say the Tuesday. He gave me the rhythm probably the Friday or the Saturday. I went to the studio the Tuesday, recorded it, sent it to him that same night. I sent him the demo and the
Hmm.
wave files. And right away he said, "Me love it, crew man.
Love it.
Me love it.
Yes. Love it.
Love it. And that's how the song came about. And right now it's getting some good compliments and some good plays, some good reviews.
And you see, because I love it, I'm going to ask you to do just a little piece for me.
Okay. Okay. We need more contribution and communication. We need more contribution and communication. Love and appreciation to the elders of our nations. Love and appreciation to the youth them of our nations. Yeah, you know,
Nice, nice, nice. And Nkrumah, I really love how your music is clean, and I mean how you talk, you big up the empresses and stuff, and just maximum respect. I really love it. I really
thank
love
you,
the
thank
style.
you, thank you, thank you. I'm a big fan of the Empress them, you know.
I can tell, yeah, which is nice, which is nice. It's nice, when you know, the male species and stuff recognize and say, well, women, we need to respect them more.
Definitely, definitely, you know.
You
I grew up with my mother really, so I grew up with a lot of females in my fammy. You know. I don't really have much uncles on my mother's side, you know, and I grew up in Canada with my mother on her side of the family, so I had a lot of aunties and my grandmother and so forth around me. So I grew up a lot different.
Okay.
I didn't really have a choice but to respect ladies, you
It
know.
shows. It shows. Enough
Yes,
respect to you. Enough
thank,
respect.
thank you.
You know. What are your plans for the coming months?
Okay, well, I have a show coming up in September in Sutton Hill with Brick-a-Brack Sound System and Bless Up Sound System alongside Marky Lyrical and myself and Nkrumah. I also I'm sure I have a show coming up in that same weekend. We're also supposed to do a show in Montreal. Um, I might have a show on July 19th at the beaches here in Toronto with Bless Up Sound System again. So I have some things coming up. Not everything is concrete yet,
Mm-hmm.
but I have some events coming up forward, you know, and I'm hoping to do some international stuff, but again, that's all in the works, you know.
All right. At least you're busy though. You're busy.
Yes, yes, always busy. I mean, if I'm not doing shows, I'm always working, you know, deal it. I'm either doing because I do a lot of dub plates also. A lot of because I did my tour in Europe, a lot of the European sound systems, they contact me for dub plates or for 45s or stuff like that.
Oh,
Um, I
nice.
also I also do dub plates for Canadian sounds, also sounds from all over the world, Africa, everywhere. So
Mm-hmm.
even if you don't see me on stage, I'm busy. You
You're
know,
working. You're
I'm
working.
working. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any collabs planned?
Recently I did a collab with Marky Lyrical out in Europe for a sound system named Low Free Meditation. Um, him and Marky and myself have a collab. I have a collab on a hip hop album named Summer of Saga with an
Mm-hmm.
artist named Messiah from Mississauga, who was actually awarded number one best album of the year. Um, so I'm on that album, Summer in Saga, with a song called Top Prize. And I
Okay.
also have a combination with my Empress, who is also an artist. She's a R&B rapper type artist. Her name is
Mm-hmm.
Lady J, the artist. And we have a song called Green Dress about to come out on her album coming up, you know?
Oh, nice. Nice.
So I'm willing to do collaborations with anybody who's serious, you know?
Yeah. I hear
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
All right. In closing, do you have anything to say to your fans and anyone learning of you for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, again, well, first I like to say I greet you in the name of the Kings of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the conquering Lion of the 12th tribe of Judah, Exhibir, Nagus, Nagas, Negas, Negas, I, Kalamawi, 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 Emperor Haile Selassie I the first, Jaja, Rastafari. I also hail you in the blessed name of Empress Menen, the full balance of iration and itation, the first Oman to stand up for equal rights between man and woman as they were coronated on the same day. His Majesty show you that we are not above each other. We are equal, Empress Menen. Yes, I would like to say again, my name is Nkrumah. I'm a reggae dub artist from Toronto, Canada, for those who don't know. Um, I like to let you know that I sing good music. Um, I don't sing derogatory music. And if I do, it's only for dub plates for sound system in the sound clash world, you know? Because that's
Mm-hmm.
a whole new section. But
Right.
that's
Mm-hmm.
just yeah, that's just for dub plates. But singles and 45s and music I'm actually selling, it's usually clean. it might have a little kick to it, like it might be a little subject where you might say, "Ooh, that's kind of touchy." But I believe we have to do that sometimes, right? We have to take our chances, and we have to talk about things that are affecting us, the people on the earth. So sometimes it's not always positive, but it's clean. I'm a reggae roots dub artist. I'm willing to work with other artists as long as they don't take me out of my element, you know.
Yeah.
Also, I write my own lyrics. So if anybody needs a writer, you can contact me. I write my own lyrics, and I'm willing to work with almost any producer. Almost,
Okay.
The business has to be right, and certain things have to be right, But I'm open to working with producers. I do have some music selling right now on vinyl. If you need vinyl, you can contact me. And yeah, I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I just want to tell my fans, thank you for all your support over the years. Thank you for all your blessings. I will continue to do this for you. And as long as you're here for me, I'm here for you. Let's keep pushing. For those who don't know me, get to know me. And I would love to meet you one day and correspond with you who haven't met me yet. All the promoters, link up. I'm ready to work.
There you go.
Rastafari.
All right. And tell us your social media handles.
Okay, my Instagram is Nkrumah Music. That's NKRUMAHMUSIC. My Facebook is Nkrumah Bell, NKRUMAHBELL. My YouTube is Nkrumah Music. Yeah, that's where you can find me, or you can email me at kwamebell at number three at gmail.com. That's KWAMEBELL, the number 3 at gmail.com. And Spotify and iTunes and all that is also Nkrumah, NKRUMAH.
There you go, guys. Thanks for gracing us with your presence in Nkrumah. It was my pleasure having you on Reggae Bits and Pieces and Jagaid.
Thank you so much, D-Light. Rastafari. Blessed love, Empress.
All right, blessed love.
We need more contribution and communication. Reggae Bits and Pieces, they want contribution and communication. Love and appreciation to the elders of all nations. Love and appreciation to the youth them of all nations. Hail King Selassie the first and Empress Manin. Jah Rastafari. Reggae Bits and Pieces, we there. Big show, big time, big sound. It's either Nkrumah, Rastafari. One love.